It's interesting. I had looked out, I guess, probably about 4 years ago when I was just in the beginning stages of thinking about the niche, and I really wanted to become better versed in how to market. And even though I knew a little bit about social media, I really wasn't sure on the blogging end what to do. And I joined a program called Grow Program at that point. And Joey Giangola was one of the founders of that program. But we discussed the fact that I wanted to do farm and beyond. And he said, you just need to dive in. And here's some things you might want to think about. And blogging was one of them.
I think one of the things that you've done, I think is pretty phenomenal, is that transition, or I guess expansion of your blog, and you are now vlogging, which is doing video content. When did that start?
Well, I have to say that it probably did happen from looking at what everybody else was doing and recognizing that one of the things that I didn't mind getting out in front of the camera. I realized I kind of had to have some of it. But with it, it's been kind of a fun thing. I have to say that even if it's just doing Instagram lives or Facebook lives, and actually getting out there and doing even short videos. I'm doing a Fun Fact Friday on Facebook that is literally 5 minutes every Friday, and it brings up something. I always try to bring up something about business or farm related, a tip, an idea, something that I found, and then what's going on with me, what I'm going to be doing next, what they can be watching for. And that right there gives you a visibility that with as many clients as we never actually get to see in person nowadays, and there's like more of that, or the idea of being able to go somewhere and have that recognition. I literally I was at the Asheville Coffee Expo last Saturday volunteering, and a lady came up to me that I haven't seen in 2 years. She works for one of the coffee shops, which I would love to write just because they're a fantastic coffee shop, and that's an easy win for me. And she says, "I remember you. You're the insurance lady." And I'm thinking, how did she remember that? And she said, "I went out and I've watched some of your things online." And I was like, okay, there it is.
I was checking out your Instagram and Facebook. You've got quite the following on those two platforms. Did you have a strategy for growing your reach, or was that something that organically happened through the content?
It's really been organic, but a lot of it's really been being there and interacting. And the same goes for my Twitter account. When I started back in, 4 years ago in the Farm to Fork, I actually literally was looking at the things that I was doing, and I was like, wow, I love Twitter, but I'm probably going to have to give that up because that's probably not going to be where I'm going to actually have much traction with farmers. I was so wrong. They apparently love Twitter, and if you go out and you look at the hashtag #AgTwitter, you'll be amazed. It is a very active community, and I've continued to learn from what it is that they're talking about, and I've continued to make good contacts within that community, not even in my state. And that's something that I think a lot of people, they're like, okay, well, if I can't contact people right here in my own neighborhood, which Facebook will allow you to do. I mean, if you're going to be doing paid advertising, you can be so specific on that. And that's been very helpful for me because I am getting in front of people who matter and in the topics that I want to be found in. So that's great that you can be so much more targeted. And I'm not putting a lot of money into it. But on the other end, if you're even getting interaction within that same community, even if it's not nearby, say, for instance, if you're somebody who are maybe wanting to start writing pest control and you run into some pest control out in Nebraska. Well, you don't write in Nebraska, but you don't realize just how important that person in Nebraska may be in the pest control world. I'm using that as an example just because, that could be something. I've been shocked and amazed at even some of the folks that I interact with on Twitter that are from Canada, but they're influential to the people here, and it literally gives me a little bit of street cred that I may not have ever even earned other than who I know, if that makes sense.